So when you first open it up, it's going to look like this. So you can go ahead and click these. We do not need these. Then I want to go to design. I am designing a worksheet on a regular size piece of paper. So we're going to change the size to letter paper. We're going to change the orientation of the slide and then click OK. Right now it doesn't matter if we scale up or down because there's nothing on the paper. So it doesn't matter. Now if something were on the paper, you would have to choose if you want it smaller or bigger. Now to get started, I always go back to home and I always start with name. You can change the font and the line. We're going to go ahead and change this font to an Arial font. And we can make it bigger or smaller. Now, at the beginning of the year, my kindergartners work on our numbers. So I'm going to create a page that is going to incorporate their numbers 0 through 5. So what I'm going to do, I already pre-planned the paper, so I know what I want to do. I always do that first because it's going to help me remember exactly what I wanted to do. Now, the first thing is when you're creating something that you're going to use multiple times, it's good to go ahead and create it first. So, for example, the number is 0. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create what I want to do with this number. So, I'm going to go and pick out this. I want to do the number 0 multiple times. So 0, I want them to practice it. Now, once I type the numbers again, I want to make it bigger because they're going to end up tracing these numbers. So, depending on how big you want it, how much space you're doing, and we want to make sure everything's going to fit. So, if I feel like something's not going to fit, I might shrink. And maybe I want it similar in size to these. That way they know what they're doing. I can even put a box around it. Now it already has a box, but as you can see, I can move it in. I can do it however I need to do it. And then since it has, it's a text box, I can choose to do the line. Over here, you can change the line. Right now it says no outline. I'm going to go ahead and change the line to a black line. And then see if I like that. I might make it a little bit more bold. You're going to go down to weight. And maybe, let's do 1 1/2. Okay. Now, so they're going to practice reading the number, writing the number, and then we're going to practice sketching it in a 10 frame. Now, for pictures, you can find free pictures on the internet. You can also go to Teachers Pay Teachers. You can buy pictures, but just remember to give credit to whoever you're getting the pictures from. I already have pictures, so I'm going to go ahead and go into here. I already have my 10 frames. I'm using a blank 10 frames for this because I want them to practice the sketching. So now remember, you want everything to fit. So if you feel like things aren't going to fit correctly, adjust. And you can line things up. As you see the lines are moving, you can adjust it accordingly. And again, like this may be a little too big because I do want some room for directions too. So just depend. Now, once I have those, I'm going to group them together and then we're going to see if it fits. So to group together, I hold down the shift key. I'm going to click on the item. So I'm clicking on all 3. Okay. Now you can then right click and we can group it together. That one did not go that time. And if it doesn't, it's kind of all trial and error. It is not working for me today. That one keeps going. Okay, let's see. I think I got it this time. Maybe. If it doesn't group like it shows you, you can also do. Now it's going to group it. There we go. Okay, so now that I have it grouped together, it's perfect. So we're going to copy it and paste it. And then we're going to look at the size. See how this is going to be way too big? If I want to fit 5 numbers on here, that is going to be way too big. So basically, once it's grouped, I can make it smaller. Now, you see these though. These are not going to be the right size for that. So again, I've got to move things around a little bit. Okay, and then what we're just going to do is that. Now it's grouped again. So we're going to Command, copy. If you have a Mac, again, it's not going to fit. If you see all this, it's not going to fit. So again, adjust. So basically it's just trial and error. You're just going back and forth and seeing. It's really this way that's not fitting. So that tells me that these just may be a little too big. So we're going to go down in size on these. And then let's adjust these. Ooh, I don't like that. Let's move this one up. And again, we can put the directions wherever we need. So once it's done, now I might want to move this one down. And then this one. Okay. There we go. That might be better. Now I'll just click on the whole thing again. Whoop, the whole entire thing. Copy it. Paste. Paste. And I know it might be confusing why I do this before I do the numbers, but that way everything's the same. Everything looks uniform and is the same. I'm really big on making sure everything is similar. And as you can see, I'm lining everything up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then I would go back, and now that my fonts are going to be the same, I'm just going to type the numbers now. Now, keep in mind that you may have to adjust spacing, but as you can see, this now works perfectly. 2, 2. Okay, there we go. There's those. Okay, now I want to do the other side. So I'm going to paste 3 boxes for the other side. And look how it's lining up. If you can see, that's how you know everything is lining up perfectly. I may adjust the other side just to make it even, more symmetrical. And then we're going to do this side. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do the numbers, and then I'm going to show you how to make sure everything is symmetrical on your paper. So again, there's my 3s. 4, 4, 4, 4. Sorry, I'm just trying to get faster at it. Let's tab those. Tab, tab. And then we have 5. 5, 5, 5. Okay, now as you can see, they're not perfectly symmetrical. So what you can do is you're going to click on the groups, and again, you're going to group them together. So you want to hold down the shift key as you click each one, and then you want to group. So we're just going to group together. That way I can make it even. Now what I do is I want to see how it is with the page. And the best way you can tell me is if I do this, that's symmetrical there. Ooh, you know what? I did not group these. So now let's group these. Shift, and then click on each one, and then group. And as you can see, the 3s aren't even now. So I got to get back and fix that in a minute. I'm going to line those up because those are perfect. It's my 3s that are off. Okay, now some of you are like, well, what if I get off like that? How do I go back? Sorry, it's clicking all over the place right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to ungroup it now. So it's the same thing. You highlight it, and then instead of group. Well, you go to group and you click on ungroup now. So now I have this I can fix on its own. I want to make sure it's lined up. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so there we have that. Okay, so I want directions. I did not put directions in here. Obviously, you can see I'm kind of running out of room. So I can always type in directions over here. That says, read the number, trace the number. Actually, let's make it easier. Read, trace, and sketch the number. We're going to make it easier to read. Okay, again, you can do any font you want to. I'm just going to stay with Arial and just put that. Okay, and then we can adjust that however we see fit. Okay, and there you have it. Now, as you can see, this side to me is a little off. So you can use your arrow keys too to do that. But I'm not going to. I'm going because I like that it shows the lines when I do it correctly. And so just so you can see if you have things not lined up correctly, now you know how to kind of line them up. Okay, there we have it. There's my worksheet. So now I can do a few things to it. I could add a frame if I wanted to. I'm not today. But if you want to add a frame, I will teach that in another one. This is just your basic way to get started in making a worksheet. Now, if you now want to save it, I save it two ways. I save it as file, save it as a PDF for one. So we're going to name this numbers 0 through 5 review. And I'm going to save it for now in my downloads and just say save. Okay, then I want to save it as a PDF too. So save as. It's going to be the same thing. You click down here though, and you're going to say PDF. And you're going to say, I'm going to save it in the same place. I'm just going to export it. So now you have it in your PDF. So if I go to my downloads, it's right here. And now it is created in a PDF and I can print it out and we are ready to go. So there's your basic on how to get started with making a worksheet for either your classroom or to sell as a resource. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, just leave me a message in below and I will try to help you